I got my hair cut and I'm not happy with it.
Really? Why not?
Well, I wanted it shorter, but she cut my bangs off. Like I have bangs again. Look at
You
that.
didn't want bangs.
No,
Did you want to get banged?
always. But not by her. Not
Yeah,
by
not
my
by
hair.
her banging utensils are weird. I am your co-host, Kelsey,
And I'm Cindy.
and welcome to Marathi in Law, the podcast where we explore language, love, and life across cultures. Today we have something different. आज शोवर आहे माझे fiancé Jaydeep. Hi Jaydeep.
हाय
तू कसा आहेस?
मी मस्त. माझं नाव जयदीप. आय एम जयदीप द फियांसे आणि मी आज तुझ्याशी गप्पा मारण्यासाठी खूप आतुरतेने वाट बघत आहे.
Chan. Are you excited to talk about what it was like when we were dating?
हो, मी तर तयारच आहे. सुरू करूयात?
Yeah, let's do it. Before we met, you were on like what you like to call the Marathi people dating app, right?
Yeah.
Which is what? Explain what that is.
It's basically an app for arranged marriage where you can meet other people who are also wanting to get married.
Hmm.
And the app is only limited to people from Maharashtra or adjacent areas who speak Marathi.
What's the name of the app?
It's called Anurup.
And there's more than that, right?
Yeah, there are apps like Anurup in other parts of India which are either region specific or language specific.
Is there one just like for Indian people in America that's just like super open in general?
There is one that the various Indian societies in the US run for like their own kids.
Hmm.
And then there's a dating app kind of like Bumble, but exclusively for Indian people.
Oh, okay. What's that one called?
It's called Dilwyn.
I wasn't on that one.
Yeah, I figured
Well, despite the 0.1% Gujarati.
missed opportunity.
I know. I really should have. Let's go try it out. I'll go download it right now. Let's see how Jianzu's go. So on this app, you can talk to people, but also your parents can set up a match for you. How does it work?
So this Anurup app, you don't really know who the real user is behind that profile. There's a 50-50 chance that the profile is created by parents and operated by parents,
Okay.
even though you're seeing their son or daughter's photo
Right.
on the profile. It's their name. But when you try to like message them, it's usually the parents who interact with you.
Interesting.
So a lot of times it's parents to parents. They talk to each other on the app
Okay.
and then they introduce their kids if the parents think that it's a good idea for
Okay.
their kids to be. In my case, I operated my own profile,
Mm-hmm.
which meant 50% of the times I was interacting with someone's
Parents.
dad or someone's mom and then like trying to request that I be introduced to their daughter.
What were they looking for? Like, what did they ask you about?
Well, it's all materialistic, right? Like, where do you live? Where do you work? How much money you make? Like 90% of the time it's that. Then the secondary questions are, do you eat meat? Do you drink alcohol? Yeah, those are like the two main buckets of questions that parents would want to know about.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, before they even respond to my message, they would like look at my caste. They would like go through my horoscope and everything else to like make sure that it's even a fit
Yeah.
from horoscope point of view, even before responding to my message.
What aspects of your horoscope do they go through?
I have no idea.
Is it like your
I
birthday?
didn't even have it on my profile, so I have no idea.
That's why you didn't match with anyone.
That's true.
That's why you had to slum it on Hinge.
Yeah.
And why did you agree to do that? What were you looking for when you decided to go onto that app?
Well, then it just felt like the most natural thing to do. That's what everybody does. Like all my Marathi friends, they have been on that app, specific app,
Mm-hmm.
one point or another.
Okay. Yeah. What were you looking for though when you went on that app? Like, it wasn't just about the fact that that's how you can potentially meet someone. I mean, you were looking for a partner, right?
Yeah.
You felt like you were at a place in your life where you,
Yeah, I was ready to like think about settling down and finding someone I want to get married to.
again, ironic since I had to beg you to marry me, but
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting that you and I came from two very different places. Like, you were on the app where you were talking to people from all across the country, and I had my location on Hinge set to like 1 mile, like a 1 mile radius. And you went from dating some girl in California.
I didn't date her. I met her.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Didn't you tell your neighbor that you were dating a girl in
That's
California?
true. to play it safe. Like, why does a guy approaching 30s need a 3-bedroom house all for himself?
Because he's a boss.
He doesn't even throw parties. There are no ragers. Nobody comes. He's just himself.
Doesn't even have a couch.
Feels like he's
Sus.
lunatic.
Yeah, seems sus. What made you feel like you were in a place in your life that you wanted to do that app as opposed to try to meet people organically? Because you moved from Raleigh-Durham to Boston. And how long were you in Boston? You weren't on the Marathi app in Raleigh-Durham, right?
No.
And you weren't on it when you first came here to Boston, right? It was after you bought the house?
Yeah, you don't meet other Marathi people organically. They're distributed all over the country. You don't like go to fill gas and at a Gulf station you meet other Marathi people, right?
But so that was important to you at the beginning, was to meet someone who was Marathi at first?
It was just something that was expected of me, and I just did that.
And then what made you decide that that wasn't working for you?
Yeah, and on the Indian people app, it just felt like I was in a different place in my life compared to other people of my age who, like all the people that I met, they were at a very different point in their lives.
In what way?
None of them felt that they were happy with where they were at in their life, or they were not stable with their life situations. Like,
interesting.
Maybe struggling with their job and they were fully occupied with that. Someone who had just graduated and they were worried about if they're going to get the work visa or not, or someone who did not feel like moving across the country was worth the effort, right? Like, people had many different priorities and they were on a completely different page as compared to me, right?
Yeah.
For them, finding a partner wasn't the priority. The priority was something else.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, what I really wanted was to find someone who I could bond with and like grow as a partner for them, and that person to become my partner and grow as a partner with me. Right. And that be the priority.
Right. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people who complain about the dating apps. I'm old enough that I was alive back when eHarmony was the first online dating profile service before there were apps. And then there was Match. And then there started to be apps like Tinder and Bumble. And one of the things, and I've also done dating where you just go to a bar and try to meet people organically, which I feel like I have no idea how anyone did that before. It's like someone who looks mutually hot and is at the same level of sobriety as you doesn't seem like the best
algorithm.
Yeah. So, but a lot of people complain about the apps, but I feel like they're nice because at least they give you some clarity, especially like as I moved from dating to like not serious dating to saying, okay, I really want to find my partner. You can be really upfront about that and weed out people who aren't interested. You still get people who claim that they are when really they aren't. Like, that's inevitable that people don't know themselves. They aren't really serious or sure. But I would say for me, that was like one of the greater advantages of dating apps, because then if somebody wasn't that serious, you could say, well, I was really upfront about this. Like, there's no question of why we're meeting. I never asked you before. Did you go on dates with other people from Hinge?
Yeah, of course.
Who else did you go out with? What was that like?
Nothing notable, to be honest. Like, it was more, few dates went on, second, third dates, but nothing serious. Like, I never had like a steady, serious conversation with anyone except you.
What do you mean you never had a steady, serious conversation?
Like, nothing progressed beyond third date.
Okay.
Like, it never, either I didn't grow into it or they didn't grow into it by second or third date, and we never really went beyond 2 or 3 dates. So I never had I never had a situation where I was, let's say, we were getting close to, call it, becoming even like emotionally attached or involved, right? It was more like, okay, getting to know each other and then realizing that that's not the right person for me, or that's not the right person I want to explore a relationship with.
What were you looking for?
I was looking for someone who was caring, loving, stable, like who knew what they wanted from life and who content with who they were. Right?
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, content with who they were. I think that's a really big thing that I found in dating. There were so many people I ran into who really didn't know who they were. And I think there's a lot of people still trying to figure it out. And in dating, I feel like particularly there's a lot of postulating where they try to project that they're comfortable with who they are or that they've got it figured out. But actually that's why they're dating, is because they feel like something is missing and they're going to plug that hole with somebody else, right?
With Hinge, what I observed is people generally were quite upfront, like they
about what they wanted.
Yeah, about what they wanted, and they were like putting effort into those discussions, having dates, be thoughtful about those dates,
and that was what I thought was so different with you. I felt like I was a whole person, that I liked who I was and I had a lot to offer, and I wanted somebody who also knew who they were and that we could come together and be actual partners and like go on life's adventures and trials together.
My overall experience with Hinge, and if any of my Indian brethren are listening, please go on Hinge.
How would you describe how we met? You saw my profile, said, "No way, Jose."
Yeah.
And then I liked your picture.
Correct. And then I messaged you saying if you wanted to grab ice cream.
Gelato specifically, because I had just come back from Italy. I wrote on my profile that I had just come back from Italy with my mom. And you said if I was going through gelato withdrawals, you knew a good place in Cambridge. It was probably one of the most thoughtful messages I ever got, which really just describes you as a person.
Thank you. So then I followed up a couple of days later, and then you agreed to meet. So I suggested a place called Zuzu's Petals.
And what made that different? Because you said on other dates, you felt like people were more interested. They were being more intentional. They were more stable. But you didn't feel that you had a connection, I think is what you said, right? Like an emotional, you weren't approaching. Yeah, like on the other dates that you had gone on, you hadn't felt like you were approaching like an emotional connection or emotional intimacy.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but like I didn't feel like I wanted to keep talking to that person.
Right.
Like it wasn't, there wasn't a connection to the point where like I don't want to stop talking.
Right.
Right. So that was the difference.
Yeah, because I'm just so interesting.
That's right. That's exactly right.
We actually like talked a really long time on that date because you suggested a reasonable hour, which was like 6 p.m. And we stayed there till they closed.
Yeah.
Like 10:30. Street lights all came on.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Cindy, welcome back.
Yeah.
So let's first talk about what you thought about my conversation with Jaydeep.
You just want me to like give you my impressions of what I thought
Sure.
of it?
Why
Loved
not?
it.
I love that he's banging on the table the whole time so that the sound.
I didn't hear that.
Well, that's because I did a lot of magical editing. I was like, stop banging on the table. And then I also cut out all the parts where I ask him a question and he just nods. And then I'm yelling back at him, they can't see you. You have to speak.
loved it. I just loved it. He's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, it was super fun talking to him. So I think the thing I found most interesting,
I asked him about before he went on Hinge. So before he went on Hinge, he calls it the Marathi People dating app, but it's basically a dating app, but the
Mhm.
app allows your parents to be on there too.
Yeah. I've heard of that website before. I've heard of parents who use that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
to me, I was like, it's horrifying that a parent would be involved in a dating app. And I'm just like, my dating app experience is obviously very different. Cough, cough, many dick pics, cough, cough. So I was like, I don't think I'd ever subject any of parent I know to that.
I don't think that those types of pictures were on that website. I think it
Yeah,
was
I don't
parents.
think they were. Yeah, I think we have different experiences with like dating apps. Like my app was a guy who was completely naked and was like party pussy politics. Like that was it. That's all that was on there. I'm like,
That's what he was
alrighty.
looking for.
Yeah, I like who knows? I saw it and I just like, well, that's a winner. Swipe.
Well, I remember you sending them to me.
Yeah. And the
Like,
thing,
what do you think? Which one should I go out with?
oh, but yeah, which of these stellar options? And some of them would have like their picture, you couldn't even like, it was like a close up of their nose, like they're like, and it was sideways, like they didn't edit it at all. They did not try. There
So
was,
terrible.
and you're just like, if you have zero intention with you can't even set up the profile, like how horrible would that
Right.
date
Not
be?
really interested. Yeah. Did you ever go out with any of those individuals that had questionable photos?
People that seem like psychopaths. No, Cindy.
Did you ever date any of the dick pics?
No, I didn't.
That was the question I had.
Yeah,
That was my
no.
question.
No, but do you remember that one time and Hinge had the option of those prompts they had just added?
Yeah.
Or maybe it
Yeah.
was Bumble, I don't know. But they had
Yeah.
added those prompts and we were like, you could just answer dicks to every single one of these. It was like me in the morning, dick. The
I
fun thing
so
you should know
remember
about
that.
me, dick.
I think that's how we were like, I like dicks.
Yeah, my last vacation was
Full of dicks.
every single question. We just responded exactly the same. I was like, it works for everything. It's great.
Yes, I
So
do
universal.
remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Never want to go back to that. Super
No.
happy I don't have to date anymore.
I think you should talk a little bit more about what you remember from being engaged to Alec and what that was like and why that was different from the first time you got married.
I've been reflecting on this about the fact that like the expectation in my family was that we were going to college, and then once we went to college, we were supposed to be married and out of the house. Like that was just the expectation that was placed on us.
Yeah.
And so I met Scott when I was 16 and he was significantly older than me. I met him through his sibling
The
who I was
Prison Word Network.
babysitting for. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I remember like I went away to college and he would show up every weekend because he didn't want me to be so far away, because he was super controlling. But of course, at the time I thought,
You
oh,
thought
that's
it was
so sweet.
romantic. Yeah. Oh my
Exactly.
God.
Exactly. Yeah,
He's
you think
obsessed
that's
with me.
romantic. Right. He just showed up and ruined all my weekend plans. Wow, that is awesome.
Cute.
He loves me. Yeah. So, I was just on this trajectory of this is what you do. You go to
Right.
college and then you get married. And so I did that. And then my mom taught me that it doesn't matter really how happy you are in a marriage. You never leave. You're committed and you make it work,
Excellent advice.
Yes,
I think my
exactly.
grandmother would say something similar.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
Which is funny because on one side, my grandmother would absolutely say that. And then on the other side, my other grandmother would say the exact opposite. So at least I had those two voices in my life. So my mom felt conflicted. She's like, which one do I go with?
Right. Yeah, it is. It's hard. Yeah. Yeah. And I really didn't want to get married. I just was kind of living that life I thought was expected of me. And that's one of the reasons why when I met Alec, he had gone to college but dropped out. Completely like blew up the relationship he was in, blew up the relationship with his family.
Wow, really selling him as
Yeah,
a
well, seriously, this is what he did. And then he He moved to Florida, started waiting tables, was just partying it up. And honestly, like I was just like, wow, like that just seemed so unimaginable to me. Do you know what I mean? Like my life was the opposite. I had 3 kids, a mortgage, a full-time job. I was supporting my kids on my own, no child support, and I was just like, gosh, I wish I had your life. You
Right.
know, and he like looked at me and was like, "Man, I want to settle down. I would love to have children." You know, like he just you know, he saw what I had and was like, "Wow, that's great." And I saw what he had and I was like, "Wow, that's great." And
So you both
instead of
settled and neither of you got what you wanted.
instead well, I was gonna say instead of switching lives, which we
Right.
probably should have done.
At least for 9 months. Like, come on.
I know, right? Yeah. No, we dated.
I love him. I love him. We have such a great relationship. We have so much fun together. I mean,
I do. I love Alec too.
I think my relationship with Alec is very serendipitous.
Absolutely.
Alec and I only knew each other for a year before we got married.
but yeah, we genuinely enjoy spending time together. We do. No matter what we're doing, we just genuinely like each other. I mean, one of the first things that I noticed after coming out of the bad relationship that I was in is like he encouraged me to like spend money on myself.
Ooh,
Like if
nice.
I would see something, I'd be like, "Oh, that's so cute," and he'd be like, "Get it, I'll get it for you." Like anything. Whereas Scott was like, "No, you're not good enough. Even though you earn all the money, you can't spend it on yourself. It's all for me." So I've always really liked his um, attitude towards just like spending on yourself and like taking care of yourself. And
Yeah.
like when we would go on vacation, he always said, like, you forget something. And he's like, that's okay. We'll buy it when we get there.
Oh,
He had this
yeah. You and
attitude.
I have talked about that before. I also came from a Michigan family. It was like, if you
Yes,
didn't pack it, you are SOL. It does not
yes,
exist. You
that's
could
right.
never
That's right.
replace your
No
toothbrush.
toothbrush. That's right. Look at
Live
us
with your
now.
choices. Use your finger.
Yes, exactly. And then we'll make fun of you because your teeth are dirty and you have bad breath.
And that you forgot your tooth. And we'll, for every single time you pack for every vacation for the rest of your life, we're like, did you get your toothbrush? Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yes, so true. And he was like, so I think the first time we traveled with the kids, and he had already been doing that with me, but we traveled with the kids, and Lauren's like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot this," and he's like, "That's okay. We'll get it when we'll replace it when we get there." And we were
And she was like, mind blown.
she was. She's like, "Wait, no,"
Was
because I
this
always taught my
always an
kids.
option?
I know, right? Nope, if it's at home, right? Like if you leave it at home, that's where it stays, just like we talked about. And I would give my kids like so much money to spend, to buy themselves something, and they had to
Oh, did they
save
have
in
to
their
take
budget.
it out of their
No,
You were
no,
like,
no.
if
It
you
was
forgot your
something.
toothbrush, you have to use your souvenir money. So you might as well get a souvenir toothbrush.
Make sure it says Alabama on it.
Yeah. So Jaydeep and I met on Hinge.
Yes.
As you and I have talked about many times, dated online for a very long time.
Mhm.
Dated a lot of losers. Actually, I would say so. One of the interesting things that happened was I had gone out with a bunch of people, and there was like 3 guys in a row, I think, or something like this, where they said that they wanted a serious relationship.
Yes. That was
And
not
yeah, about
true.
6 weeks in, they were like, "No, I
Yeah.
don't. I don't want this
Right.
at all."
Right.
And I'm like, "Well, you should have figured that out 2 weeks in, 2 dates
Yeah.
in."
Yes.
So I was kind of emotionally exhausted of getting it's hard to continue to put yourself out there and to be genuine and authentic and
Yes.
to really be open to the possibility of the next person when the same thing keeps happening. You start to
Mhm.
become suspicious and doubtful and
Mhm. And you don't open yourself up to somebody else.
exactly. It's really hard to be open because you feel like now I have a script and I know what you're going to say and then you're going to turn around and say the exact opposite 6 weeks
Right.
from now.
Right.
But Jaydeep had a picture of himself in a gas mask.
I love it.
Like right before that, he had mentioned he was gotten an apartment and he was doing improvements on it. And I was like, there's a 50% chance this man's gonna murder me in a vat of acid.
Right. And then put you between the walls.
Yes. And then there's a 50% chance that he thinks he looks cool and handy. He's like, look at me. I'm a man's man with my creepy gas mask.
And talking about home improvements where I'm hiding the bodies.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because his profile picture literally had him in a mask. I had just changed my hair, gotten eye surgery. So
you were in a mask.
right. A mask-esque. And then when we met up, it was the most authentic first date I've probably ever been on. And quite frankly, it was immediately like we were 100% ourselves. We made plans for the very next day.
Yes.
And then he was like, can I kiss you outside our apartment? And there was a woman right behind us looking at like random objects that had been left on the road. And I was like, that woman's lurking. I don't want to, the mood's not right. I don't, nothing about this.
I'm not feeling it.
And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to marry that man. You know what? Yeah.
Right.
I tell you what, I don't really believe in soulmates because I just find that silly. But I definitely think it's crazy to me that Jaydeep and I met and how well we get along and
Yeah.
how much he makes me feel more like myself.
Well, I do think too, because, you guys met in your 30s, just like Alec and I met in our 30s. You already know who you are, unlike when you're in your 20s.
I definitely think there are people in their 30s who still don't know who they are.
Well,
for
that's true.
sure. I've met a lot of them. I've dated a lot of them. But I agree with you that you definitely you should have a better sense of who you are in your 30s.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, you've just had more life experiences, hopefully, by the time you're in your 30s than when you're in your 20s. But I would say like your daughter knows who she is and has known who she was probably since like 25, at least 24. I think like she knows who she is, maybe not at the same point as when she's going to be 35. And there are people who I've met who are 35 and they still don't have a clue. Like they're just doing the things like you were talking about in your expectations of your parents and how you kind of just got caught up in inertia, right? That was just the direction that your life was going in. You didn't really think of it as conscious choice with intention. It was just like, no, the momentum of my life is pushing me towards this. And I'm just going with the flow on that.
Right.
Okay. I will tell you, my Marathi teacher listened to our first episode.
Oh yeah,
and she was like, "I have never heard anyone use less Marathi in a podcast about Marathi." And I was like, "Alrighty, note taken." So today on Marathi Minute, I'm going to teach you. Yeah, so today on Marathi Minute, I'm going to share what I've recently learned. To tell someone to do something, you add gur on the end, which gur is the base word for to do. So if I say like mi curte, oh, that was French. Sorry.
I'm like, are you supposed to roll your R's?
Gur, yes, but mi curte, that was French. So you add gur on the end of something. So now I just go around to Jaydeep being like, dishes gur.
Perfect.
Vacuum gur.
Oh, I like that. Vacuum gur.
माझे नाव Kelsey आहे, and you've been listening to another episode of Marathi in Law. See you next time. In Marathi, they have this L that is also an R. So it's r, r. And so you have to put your tongue all the way at the back. R. So like kara. Kara.
Kara.
No, that's completely wrong. But you understand my problem.